Take three. Hey guys, welcome back to the Unbroken Truth. I have been perusing the internet. Dangerous, right? Oh my gosh. The echo chamber syndrome. The I'm right, you're wrong. The ego that has taken over our society. What are we doing? I mean, I am on every platform there is. And I'm trying to see, really what's best, what's got the right vibe for what I want to do, right? Because we want to spread happiness, we want to spread, women's empowerment, we want to spread the idea that men have this happen too, and that they should be able to talk about these things. Guys, I am all over the place, and everything that I'm finding has got people that are so full of trauma that they're projecting that so much out onto the people that they're talking to on the internet. Their defense mechanisms are so high, so ready to fight. It's like we're getting online and we're in that immediate fight or flight mode. You have to come out of that. Text has no emotion. I have said that for years. You can never really put words behind or feelings behind what other people are saying other than your own. So please understand that your reactions are a mirror of yourself. You have to do better for you, all of us. I think I have definitely gotten into a few of these matches with the trolls. We all have, right? We've all had some times where somebody says something online and it's just so wrong. Or just morally wrong to us. It doesn't even matter if it's factually wrong. We're not going to get into that part. Actually, we will, but that's going to be in a second. But it hits us in this way where it's like, that's not my morals, so I need to scream and rant at you and tell you how you're wrong. And if it's somebody that they normally would follow, something like that, I've seen this with political leaders, I have seen this with celebrities, I've seen it with influencers. They have that one conversation with them and suddenly they just hate them as a person completely. And it's that huge cancel culture thing that we're going through. And this is not just young people. This gets blamed on young people a lot. Let me tell you, this is not just young people. There are a lot of the older generation people that are doing it as well. We had a issue where there's a supermarket here, and the guy that owns the supermarket went out to the Trump rally, right, at the Capitol. And as soon as anything, as soon as the bad stuff, like the storming started and everybody started going crazy and all this kind of stuff, he left. He's just like, that's not what I was here for. The entire town wanted to cancel his supermarket. I'm not even going to say who it is or anything like that because I don't support the idea of canceling his supermarket because, for one, it's a really great place to get stuff. Probably one of the best supermarkets in town. For two, he has the right to be there and to have that opinion. He left when the stuff popped off. He left. He got out of there, right? He did what he thought was right in that time. He didn't support what they were doing with the Capitol. He left. What more do you want? He should be allowed to go out there and do those things. And this is happening all over the internet. And this is with small conversations and big conversations. You can have one opinion on something and suddenly it's just you're the worst person in the world. Well, I'm here to tell you that is not true. If you've been a victim of cancel culture, please understand that a lot of that is just herd following. People get into this mentality that if everyone else is doing it, it's the right thing for me to do. It's not always true. Quite frequently, it's not true. But it happens. So if you're in one of those situations, the best you can do is try to get more information out there. I guess if you have a social online presence, I'm talking to you guys, get the information out there, but don't sit there and try to justify yourself or explain yourself. I mean, if you feel like you absolutely need to, go for it. But if it was just something that you believe in or you have an opinion on that, I mean, Okay, there's always the exception to the rule. I'm sorry if you think pedophilia is okay or something like that. I'm sorry, you're canceled. You deserve to burn. So, but if you support Rand Paul, and I don't, okay, which I'm not saying that I don't or I do or anything. He's kind of back and forth. Anyway, off point. The idea, though, that we can no longer be friends with someone or talk to them or have full conversations with them unless we absolutely completely agree with them is going to destroy us. We're limiting ourselves for social interaction. We are putting this negative outlook on the world into ourselves. We are limiting the amount of cultural education that we can get from other people. Why would you do that? Even if I completely don't agree with you, I still want to hear your point of view. Because this is the way that a full-grown human who has made it through the world thinks about this situation. That's important. Because even if I don't feel the same way, I need to know how other people feel. A lot of these matters come down to voting on things that actually affect our country in big ways. You need to listen to what other people are saying. And if you shut them down completely, all you have is the beliefs that you already had. Those beliefs were probably put into you from people who, how do I put this gently, had a much different outlook on the world because they were also raised in trauma situations. Please understand what our grandparents and our parents went through as a country, and I'm not going to go through and give you a history lesson, but just go back and look in your history books some and see what was going on during the time periods when they were young, when they were raising kids, when they were developing their beliefs, and see what the world was then. Understand how their beliefs could have come, and then understand how those beliefs probably needed some work. Yeah, guys, you know what I'm talking about. We're dealing with Karens and boomers all the time. Like, this is not a new concept or new information. But it's mind-blowing to some people because people are bad about stepping away from themselves, stepping away from their own ideas and their own emotions, and really giving other people a chance to share their thoughts, share their stories, share their passions. We can watch a YouTube video or a little, you're scrolling through, you see the sweet little stories come through and all that, and you're like, oh, that's so sweet, whatever. And you move on. How often do you let that stuff really resonate with you as if you were in that person's shoes? Now, there's a lot of empaths out there who I know you feel every bit of it. Okay? We are one and the same. You do connect with people and things like that. There are also people out there, though, who don't and who are just waiting for their part of the story. That is so limiting. And I think that's really only the main point that I wanted to make today for my little rant podcast, is that it is so limiting, not only to yourself outwardly, as far as socially, also to yourself in business, because all of those things that you do are usually public information, and if they're not completely public, someone's seen them, someone can go tell someone, things like that. Look, guys, when I first got my last dream job back doing the parties and things like that, different club, my GM got a letter in the mail to let him know exactly who he hired and gave him all of this information about me. Now, luckily, I had a great GM who said, and, she's a great worker, whatever, and it just moved on. But those things that you do, those things that are out there about you online, the information gets back to your employers as well. Like I said, the person that you are online is who you are. If you're mean and catty all the time, look, I am not ashamed to admit I've been in a position to where I've done a lot of hiring before. Do you know what the first thing is? And this is through multiple companies. Do you know what the first thing is that they do? Let's check their Facebook. Let's see if they're on Instagram. Let's see if they're on LinkedIn. Let's see, what their social presence is, because that's going to tell us a lot about you. You put a lot out there online. I can see most of your comments to other people. Be nice to each other, please. That's how I feel. The other way that all of this negativity online really does affect you is just inwardly, personally. If you spend your entire day ranting and raving online about all the things that you see wrong in the world, you bring that to your family and your friends. You bring that energy out to the people that are actually close to you. You also bring it inward to you. Have you ever been sitting there just feeling like you just kind of had a crappy day, but you really didn't? But you did spend a lot of time online looking at all of that? That energy is contagious, guys. Like, you can't sit there and have all of that negativity poured out and not let it drain you. Because we absorb all of that. It's rattling around there in the back of our heads, So what do we do to combat that, right? Because I never bring up a topic without having some kind of a solution, I guess. At least I try not to. When you see it happening with other people that you love, click on there. Hey guys, difference of opinions, It's okay to be the person who speaks sense into the crowd. Sometimes you can be the person that chain starts other people jumping on and supporting the other person. I have been the victim many times of the internet's outlash. And while I've been able to successfully pull through it and overcome fears and be able to get back online and still pursue my dreams, there's a lot of people that won't. And I don't want to see that for anyone. I want to see everyone willing to get out there and to use their voice and to talk to people and to, research things, to learn things. I think you're worth it. I think you're worth being kind to people. I think you're better. Showing kindness to people when you don't need to shows a level of maturity and a level of healing that is hard to get to. But I believe in you guys, and I know if you're one of those people, I think that this might actually sink in a bit. And guess what I'm really getting at, guys? All the negativity, all of the echo chamber mentality, it's hurting us. And I challenge you to go join 3 pages that you disagree with. Shake up the algorithm a little bit. I challenge you to go find people with different opinions than you. I want you to have at least one conversation in which you don't get angry and lash out and demand that they see your point of view. I want this person to be someone you strongly disagree with on most things. Sounds fun, right? I can assure you it's not. But I think you'll be interested to see how you feel afterwards. Hopefully you don't get a sense of superiority. Hopefully you don't feel like, oh, this person just was so stupid and didn't know what they were talking about. Hopefully you feel like, at least if nothing else, I got to see their point of view. I got to see it all the way from their point of view. Ask as many questions as you can to get to that point. I challenge you to lead that conversation instead of backing away from it, unliking, unfollowing, blocking. lead it. Because if we ever want to make a difference, we have to lead. I guess that kind of wraps us up for today. Thank you guys for sitting in with me while I rant about trolls on the internet, I guess is what it comes down to. Please go like, subscribe everywhere that you can. I am on every social media platform at Walk Unbroken, and I will be seeing you all very soon. Bye, guys.